One of the toughest, most painful things I help a lot of couples with is how to recover when there's been an affair in your relationship. The statistics on affairs are a bit hard to nail down because a lot of people don't really want to talk about it, but something like 25 to 55% of long-term relationships, marriage, committed relationships, have an affair in them, whether that's a full sexual affair or an intense emotional affair, which is defined as me putting a majority of my emotional, intimate, connection outside of my bond with you. I'm going to tell you in disguised form, this is a compilation of several couples I've worked with around recovering from an affair. And we're going to call this person Jane, and we're going to call their partner Peter. Of course, all of this applies to gay, straight, alternative couples as well. Jane was lonely and Peter was working super hard. And Peter was the kind of guy who, I could say, tends to look for what's wrong instead of what's right. You're going to hear about that a bit more in an upcoming video as well. And one of the stories she told me that was really kind of heartbreaking is he would come home from work and he would walk in and he would look around the house and he would immediately notice something that wasn't right, and he would like go over to the chair and move the pillow with a little bit of a quiet tone, like, ugh. Like that wasn't okay. So his wife, fair or not fair, often felt criticized, like she wasn't good enough. He didn't seem to take a lot of attention for what was important to her. He didn't seem to be involved in the children's activities. He worked and worked and worked and kind of did his own thing. Fast forward, she's taking her son to his Taekwondo camp, and he's got these series of classes and whatnot, and several of the parents are being chaperones. Her husband declined to go. She ends up chatting with this really nice guy whose kid's in the same class, in the same program of Taekwondo. They go along and they become friendly. She just enjoys this guy. He's interested in her. He pays attention to her. He's curious and funny, and they form a friendship. Absolutely innocent. Nobody thinks anything of it, particularly my eventual patient. Things go on, and what's happening? She starts to feel attracted to him, but she doesn't realize it. She doesn't think of it as a romantic or a sexual thing. She's just really thrilled when he sends her a text saying, hey, how's your day going? How did so-and-so enjoy his Taekwondo class today? Friendship, innocent. Absolutely caught her off guard. It caught them both completely off guard. They were both married to other people, considered themselves fairly content in their marriages, were not looking to leave their marriages when they ended up realizing there was a strong attraction between them. A kiss happened, more things followed. The number one reason couples like you, couples like me end up being tempted outside of their relationship is that we fail to make sure our spouse knows we find them interesting. This is what I call thrill. You may recall in previous videos the passion triangle, the 3 keys to passion that great couples master. 1 is emotional intimacy, friendship, and connectedness. 1 is sensuality, sexuality, the spice, the taboo. And 1 is thrill. Are you keeping your love affair interesting by being interested? Come on. If you're bored with your spouse, it's not because your spouse is boring. It's because you're allowing your mind to become bored. If your spouse is at work today, they go to a work brunch, and there's a couple new people from the other branch there they've never met, they find your spouse interesting. They ask them about their kids, about their life, about their hobbies. They laugh. Turns out they've both been to Nepal. They start talking about trekking in Nepal. Interest is sparked. Is that because your spouse is more interesting at work? No. It's because the new person meeting our spouse finds them interesting. One of the most critical ways you can buffer against an affair in your relationship is to find your spouse interesting. I call it fall in love over and over again with the one you're already with. My person I was talking about came to see me. This is years ago when I had a private practice elsewhere. Eventually, her spouse came to see me. We did couples therapy. They started to look at how they lost each other along the way, took each other for granted, what I call becoming complacent. So we worked on that, and the majority of couples where there's an affair, 52% or so, do recover. They do stay together, married, common law, etc., but it takes a lot of work, and it's a bloody painful wake-up call. Let's stop you from ever needing the wake-up call of some sort of affair to make you fall in love again with the one you're already with. And now, I want to tell you, and I'm so excited, in February, the month of Valentine, I'm going to be offering a much more in-depth teaching in my free online masterclass on the 3 keys to passion. You can learn more about it below. You can click where you're watching this video to sign up for those free masterclasses coming. And in there, I'm going to talk in more depth about these 3 keys to passion, what you can do to keep your love alive, to rebuild it if it's faded, and if you're on the edge of affair, divorce, or whatever else, how to start to revive what you think you may have lost forever. I can't wait to see you there. I'm super psyched to bring this to you in a longer form than these beautiful love bites let us do. And I also can't wait to see you in the next video. We're in a series of 5 videos where I'm talking about couples, problems that come into my office or into my online programs, and what we do about them. I'm sure you'll see yourself in some of these couples, and I want to help you prevent some of the problems before they get too big. And if they're big right now, take heart. We can help you dismantle them one loving breath at a time. See you next time.